Hey guys, so today's video is going to be a full leg workout. I basically wanted to replicate what I would usually do for one of my 2 leg days during the week at a gym, but instead doing it at home with limited equipment and trying not to make too much noise since I live in an apartment next to a bunch of other people. You guys have been really highly requesting more workout videos, and I used to do them on my second vlog channel, and a lot of you guys seem to like them, those of you who are into fitness, but I wasn't sure if I should do it on this channel just because it's not too far away from beauty. Like, I feel like most people are like a little bit at least into fitness, testing the waters here and trying this out, seeing how it goes. So if you guys do end up wanting more of these videos, please leave a thumbs up so that I know. Yeah, this workout is definitely intense. You're gonna be sweating. You're gonna not be able to walk for a few days. You're gonna be like going around like a penguin. It's gonna be good. Trust me, you guys will really like this. Steel plyo box, which I got on Amazon. I use that for calves only, but I am gonna be using that again for other workouts. I also have a 25-pound dumbbell, and I only have one because it's expensive, but I'm definitely thinking about picking up bands and also like the bands that you can put in the doorway and stuff, maybe even like a pull-up bar and what else? Oh, I have sliders. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started with this workout, and I think that's all I wanted to say. I hope you like it. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a thumbs up, and let me know what you think down in the comments below. So let's go ahead and get started. All right guys, so we're starting with bodyweight squats first. We're doing 3 sets of 12 to 15. So what I am doing here is really warming up my muscles and getting them ready to work. So you want to do this slow and really focus on your form and getting it correct. What I would recommend is to either film yourself doing it or to like put a mirror to the side of you, just to make sure you're not bending too far forward. You want to bring your hands together in front of you as you go down to help balance. And also you want to keep that core really tight throughout the entire movement. I like to hold the squat for 1 second at the bottom and then press back up through my heels with some force. Like, you don't want to just go slow down, go slow up. Go slow down and then shoot back up. Use those muscles. I also like to take a breath in, tighten that core, and then you hold the breath as you go down, and then release the breath as you come back up, and then you just keep repeating over and over again. And I do feel like breathing is very important. It just helps you to balance better, keep your core tight, and maintain form throughout the entire workout. Okay, so now that my muscles are all warmed up, I'm ready to go. I go straight into front squats, and I like to do 4 sets of this just to really hit it hard with volume. Make sure you're really sitting back into the squat. For beginners, guys, I did get a question about this on my Instagram because I posted this video there, like a shorter, quick demo of the workout. If you're a beginner and you don't want to do as much volume as I'm doing here, then just go through all these workouts as a circuit. Go through each one with little to no break in between and see how you feel by the end of it. If you feel good, then good. Go through a whole nother circuit of doing all the workouts over again. But this type of volume, I would definitely say, is more on the intermediate level. Then I like to move on to Bulgarian Split Squats. This is so good for building the hamstrings and the glutes. Like, oh my God, it's one of my most favorite workouts ever because it's one of the most painful. Like, I get the most sore from this workout right here. And it's mainly because you're focusing on one leg at a time. Replaying the same clip again just so I can explain to you guys the form. So you want to put the top of your foot on a table or your couch or anything that is about like at knee level height. And you want to take a few steps forward, and you want to basically bend down to the point where you make a 90-degree angle with that leg in front there. So you don't want to go too far down, you don't want to go too far forward. You know, make sure that your hips are aligned, they're straight, and just focus on pushing through that heel as you come up. Next workout are hip thrusts. So in the Instagram video I showed, I did not have this padding back here, but I would definitely recommend that. Either put like a blanket or a pillow because it can be slightly uncomfortable. So this is just a yoga mat I put behind me. For hip thrusts, they're definitely hard to explain. Like, you really have to do it to figure out how to do it correctly, because everyone's body is different. Sometimes some people like to sit a little further up, a little bit further down. For me, I like the table to come right at the middle of my back, like just under my shoulder blades. And what I'll do is kind of take a wide stance with my legs, and then I'll sink down into the hips, and then I'll thrust my glutes upwards. And how I do this is I basically just imagine that there's a string attached to the dumbbell, and you just want it to go straight up to the ceiling. And then at the end, I like to do a little bit of pulses, or just hold it there for a few seconds until I feel like I'm dead. Next workout are glute bridges. And I like to do this on the floor. It just hits the glutes a little differently. I also feel it in my hamstrings with this one as well. And I like to slightly arch my back and keep all of the tension in my glutes. So the entire movement, from when I hit my glutes to the ground to when I'm popping my glutes up in the air, trying to make my body straight, I'm squeezing the crap out of those muscles. I mean, the most squeezing is obviously up at the top, but during that movement of me going down, my glutes are on fire. Like, I'm still keeping tension on them. And by the 10th to 12th one, I guarantee you guys are gonna start shaking, because it will make your glutes burn like crazy. Okay, so the next workout is 3 sets of 12 to 15 of Romanian deads. So because I'm using such a light weight here compared to what I'd usually do in the gym, I'm really focusing on going super slow, bending my hips back to the point where they're actually touching the wall, and the wall's kind of spotting me. That way I can go even deeper down into the stretch. So I wouldn't normally go this deep if I was using heavy weight. I would stop a little bit after my knee. But because it's only 25 pounds, I can get that deep stretch. This would be something that I do as like a burnout for my hamstrings if I had just did a set of like really heavy weight, and then I just wanted to completely demolish my hamstrings at the end. But for now, this is definitely a good home workout to do. I'm just gonna replay this one again so you guys can see how I set this up. So I would say I'm about like 6 inches maybe away from the wall, and you want to push those hips back, keep your back straight and your head aligned with your back. So don't look down and like tuck your chin completely in. Don't look up to the ceiling. Keep your head and neck aligned with your back. Just imagine it like a plank is on your back, and you got to keep it as straight as possible, because as soon as you start arching your back or doing weird things with it, that's when you're going to really, really feel it in your back instead of your hamstrings, which is where you should mostly feel it. I'm also not coming up all the way because I want to keep the tension on my hamstrings. I don't want to let it go. It burns more when you squeeze them during the entire movement. All right, next one is also for the hamstrings. This is single leg rear deadlifts. So you're basically doing what we were just doing before, except for the fact that it's only on one leg instead of 2. And since I'm using the same amount of weight, this is gonna be a lot harder. So I'm definitely shaking here. It's harder for me to balance. So, Coda's having dreams. It's definitely a lot more difficult. So I can't do as many. This was a hard one. Good luck with this one, guys. I was like frustrated. So for this one, you just want to do the same thing. Push the hips back, keep your back straight, your head and neck aligned with your back. Head and neck, yeah, I said that right. And then just bend down forward, keeping the dumbbell going in a straight line. Don't lock your arm completely out. Just let it hang there. You don't want to use your arm to lift the weight. Use your hamstrings. For the next workout, I really like to get as deep as possible in this sumo squat. So I push my knees and feet up onto the table. So that way it completely aligns them in a straight line, and I can get down really, really deep. And it kind of helps me balance, and
and be stable as well. So this is definitely a great workout for beginners. This will help to build your hip flexors, hamstrings, quads, calves, glutes. Like this is an entire leg workout here, but I mostly feel it like in my inner thigh hip flexor area. Love it. I'm gonna play this one more time so you guys can see how I got into this position. You don't want your feet to be too wide or too close together. Like it has to be at that perfect positioning, and you'll figure it out when you go to try it out, what works best for your body. And my feet are basically pointed outwards. That's why I love using this table so much, because it forces my knees to go the same way as my feet and toes are pointed, because that's what you want to do when you're squatting. Your knees and your feet need to go the same way. You don't want your knees to ever cave in. So this just really helps me to get down the form, get really nice and deep in there, and yeah, it's a good one. All right, last workout. Since we've already done hamstrings, glutes, quads, the last thing that you want to hit is calves. Definitely don't want to neglect the calves. Those are important muscles too. I think calves look super sexy when girls wear heels, so don't forget to do your calves, guys. I'm doing 3 sets of 12 to 15 of alternating dumbbell calf raises, which basically means that I am doing calf raises on this steel plyo box I got from Amazon, and for 12 to 15 of those reps, I'm holding the dumbbell in one hand, so it's basically harder for one calf than the other, right? Then I switch over the dumbbell to the other hand, and I continue doing 12 to 15 so that it's harder for the other one. So both of them get hit exactly the same. You're ultimately doing 30 reps in one set basically, but it will kill your calves. Like they will be burning. And if you have stairs or a sidewalk with a curb, you can do this too. It's just that I was in my apartment and this is the only thing I could come up with.
Yeah, for those of you who haven't tried it out yet, you definitely should. I really am not kidding. It's a killer leg workout. You will thank me later. Or maybe you won't thank me later. You'll hate me later. Please leave a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys thought. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.